Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I've got questions. What opens with the continuation of Benny being arrested for not giving cops information? And what closes with cop Justin being arrested by Veronica's question and implied observation? If you guessed the haves and the have-nots, Season 4, Episode 14, Mad Day, then you're correct. Thank you so much for clicking. Please stick around for my review. I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Let's see how we got from opening to closing. So we got Benny. It picks up where it left off at the last episode. Benny being arrested for not giving cops Candace's telephone number or not telling them who killed, what he know about Quincy Maxwell's murder. And there's a black detective, then there's Jeffrey's uniformed boyfriend, Justin, and then there's one other cop. Mrs. Harrington sees the arrests happening, and she comes over. We're talking about Veronica. She comes over, and she's like, this is my client. You can't arrest them, blah, 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 blah. And then she sees Mr. Harrington, and she's like, I'll see you at the cop station. I'll be right there. And so she goes on off, following Mr. Harrington. And then Jeffrey's boyfriend is like, I'm going, or I don't, his friend or his lover, man. And he's going off to interview witnesses. Is that okay? And the detective says, that's a good idea. So he goes off. And then, so we have Veronica catching up with her hubby. And she says, so you just gonna arrest my man? I'm gonna have to leave these young thugs alone. David is like not amused, not engaged. He not playing her game. He like, I'm here for Jeff. Where's my son? And Veronica's like, what's up with you and that young girl? Talking about Erica. And then David says to the desk attendant, I'm looking for Melissa. And then the desk attendant is like, what's her last name? And David is like, last name? And the attendant is like, well, what's your relationship to her? She's a friend of mine. And you don't know her last name? And then he says to Veronica, what's her last name? And then Veronica is like, oh, nah, you want to talk to me? And David calls Jeffrey again. He had already called him to say, I'm in the hospital. I'm in the waiting room. Where you at? I'll be here waiting. He called Lee the same message basically again. And then Veronica is like, look, let's make a deal. You tell me how and where you met that young girl, and I'll give you my information. Even exchange. And David is like, I'm glad I left you. And Veronica's like, are you sure you're gone? And David is like, I couldn't be more gone. And Veronica is like, Mad Day. You know about Mad Day, right? You know when you love somebody and you tell them everything. What I know should scare you. And David is like, you are like a rabid wolf. And then Jim Cryer comes in and he's howling, like low-key howling. And then Veronica is like, what the hell are you two devils up to now? And then Cryer is like, how are you handling things? And then Veronica is like, things? Oh, you mean the thing about Catherine murdering the DA in cold blood? Yes, I'm still keeping your little secret. But she say it out loud in the public waiting room. And they're like, shh, 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 shh. And then Veronica tells Cryer, what you need to be worrying about is the fact that your son is in the hospital. Cryer's like, where? Why? How? She's like, I don't know. And then Cryer jumps up. He goes to the reception desk. Where's my son? Where's Wyatt Cryer? I'm his father. And they're like, the doctor will be here in a minute. And then we see Jeffrey. He's entering Melissa's room. His fiance, his baby mama, who tried to commit suicide. And Melissa's laying on the bed. She sees him come in and she says, get out. And Jeffrey is like, I just wanted to see if you were okay. And Melissa's like, I'm not okay. You don't care, just go. And Jeff is like, look, I know things are tough, but don't kill yourself. And then Melissa is like, the only person who ever loved me, my daddy, is dead. You are not sorry. You are just like your mother. You want to inflict pain. Damn that. I'm so then we see Hannah, and she's at one of Mama Cryer's rental houses. And Catherine, I think Catherine is like, you know, giving her some tea and a pill. And she's like, this will help you sleep. You know, you need rest. That's the only thing that'll work. Take this pill. It's strong. And I made up the guest room. I'm not real good at, you know, domestic labor, so it won't be great. But I did my best. And there are some clothes up there. And you better go ahead and take a shower now, because once that pill kicks in, sister friend, it's over. And Hannah is like, you know, seeing the baby's blood on her hands. She starts crying again. She's like, shower, I don't need, oh, the baby is dead. And she's like, you know, my faith is all I had. This is killing me. It's crumbling my soul. And Catherine is like, your faith is too strong to be shaken. And Hannah is like, I'm only human. I'm so angry. I have to bury my grandson. And then Catherine is like, let's get you cleaned up before the pill kicks in. Come on. Come on. And then we see Jeff coming into Wyatt's room. And Jeff is, you know, encouraging, you know, Wyatt is wondering if he can kick the drugs and make it through withdrawal. He's having a hard withdrawal. And Jeff assures him that this withdrawal is just as hard as his withdrawal at the facility. You've done this before, brother. You've done this. And Wyatt is like, okay, well, just stay with me. Oh my gosh, I'm freezing. No, don't leave to get me a blanket. Jeffrey. And then Jeffrey leaves to go get him a blanket. And on the way back to Wyatt's room, he sees and kind of ignores his cop, non-boyfriend lover man, who is talking to a woman. And then Jeffrey brings the blankets to Wyatt, and he's covering them up. And then cop Justin peeks into the room, and you know, Justin is like, can I see you? It'll just take a minute. And Jeff is like, I'll call you. And then Justin is like, I'll wait outside. And Jeff is like, it'll be a minute. And then Justin is like, it's okay, I'll wait. And then Wyatt is like, don't leave me. If I go to sleep, promise you'll be here when I wake up. I don't want to die. Stay, you're gonna stay. And then we see Candace sleeping, and the asset recovery guy, Oscar, comes into the room. He's like, I've got $250,000 in cash. Do I have your attention now? And then Candace is like, I'm not working with you, and I'm keeping this money, because remember, he had stolen money before, you know, or recovered the asset recuperation. And she's like, this guy, he's a good guy with a family and with a wife. And Oscar is like, just tell me what you know. You know, I could have used a younger woman for less money. And Candace is like, then do it. And then Oscar is like, they're not you. And Candace is like, exactly. And then Oscar is like, this is a long game. Remember, I want you to play the long game. In 8 years, you'll be in the White House. And then Candace is like, you don't want to be in that place with a bunch of politicians, and me neither. And then Oscar is like, did he say that? Some good info. This is what I want you to keep it up. And this is serious business we've gotten into. These super PACs, they're very serious, and you know, blah 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 blah. I don't really blah blah blah. And then he finds out that she told him something, or she's trying to do something, scam the scammer or scam him herself directly or something. And he's like, you're damaged. I can't use you. And Candace is like, I'm taking the money. And he's like, I can't use you. I'm taking the money. And Candace is like, nope, I'll scream. Help! Help! And he already had said, oh my God, the Secret Service is right down the hall. And so he leaves. And then Candace is looking at the money, and she finds that most of the money is phony. Hold on. Thank you. And then we see Jeffrey in Wyatt's room, and the recovery lady comes in, and she's like, you two love each other. You don't have to be gay to love each other. And then she's like, are you going to be here when he wakes up? You know he needs you. And Jeffrey's like, I don't want to trade him one dependency for another. And then he's like, is the cop still out there? And she like, yeah, he been out there for about an hour. Is everything okay? And then, you know, they go out there and the cop is like, come with me. And Jeff is like, I'm not coming with you. And, you know, because of what you did before. And I'm like, what did he do before? I missed that. And then Justin apologizes for having gotten out of control. And since he was not able to convince Jeff to go anywhere with him until he apologizes. And then Jeff follows Justin into a stairwell. And Justin is like, there are no cameras here. And he tried to get with him. And Jeff is like, and you know, when they were walking down the hall onto the stairwell, it was like Justin, then Jeff, then Veronica. And when they went to the stairwell, Veronica was like, Okay, so then Justin, he's acting all crazy and possessive. I know that's your friend, but I don't like seeing you with your friend, and it just makes me so crazy. And then he's, you know, I'm trying to control myself. His married ass is upset that Jeff is supposed to be getting married, and Jeff is like, please let me go. That's how you can show that you're truly sorry for what you did. And then Justin is like, you going back to that room with him? And Jeff is like, he's my friend. And then Justin pulls him back in for a kiss. And then Jeff leaves. And then Justin sits down on the stairwell steps. And then Veronica comes walking up the stairs. And Veronica says, so, you're married? Finale! That's the end of the episode. I don't know if I got everything. Because, you know, it'd be a lot going on. It'd be a lot going on. It's quick moving. But that's the haves and the have-nots. I give this episode a B+. Look, sometimes I give numbers. Sometimes I give letters. Sometimes I don't even say nothing. But I enjoyed it. It was good for what it is. Now, the one thing that I do notice is that the timing with the Tyler Perry, like it seemed like with the Madea things, the timing is good. With the comedies, I haven't noticed. But like I remember the family who prays together or whatever, it was like, it was some weird, and like this scene, like when they were gonna, like, when they were arresting him, it was like, at the beginning when they were arresting Benny, they're like, you're under arrest. And Benny is like, no, you're not arresting me. And then the cop is like, yes, I am, unless you tell me what I want to know. It's like the timing seems weird. Like it seemed like it would have been just a whole different rhythm to that type of scene. But anyway, that's what I have. Good people, thank you so much for sticking around for my recap review, commentary, and all of that other good stuff. Like, thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe down below. Be you, be fabulous you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.